the beat. Yo.
We have Juice Laura here, aka Malik Curtis. Yeah, I'm really excited to have this interview with you.
Let's do it.
Because you've been buzzing a lot recently. Yeah. And so can you just tell me how it feels to be you today?
First, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Man, how it feels to be me, it's a lot. It's a lot in good ways. Sometimes it's overwhelming. But for the most part, you know, just man, thankful, appreciative for just all of the things that's been going on, shows, and man, I'm just taking it all in. I'm trying to embrace it, live in it, and instead of just going with the flow. I'm trying to really embrace it, but not. I don't know. It's interesting though, to say the least. Interesting. I'll say that. That's the word for everything.
And so you came out of high school and you did your first show in New York.
Yeah.
That was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now fast forward, you just completed a tour, the Workhorse tour with Prof.
Yeah.
Alongside some other of your friends, right?
Yeah.
How was that process, like touring for the first time?
Man, just to pinpoint to the start, 8 years ago, that was like my senior year. And during spring break, went out to New York with my homegirl Bree Watts, and I had a show out there, and it was like an open mic, you know what I'm saying, kind of, but I had it was like a little showcase actually. So from there, and just rapped on Sway in the Morning, and just each year I would say just gradual, you know what I mean, from protesting to just doing a whole bunch of things, man, and to get to this point now where I had a show in New York on tour on my birthday, you know what I'm saying? And it's like full circle. This year has been a full circle, a moment, because the top of the year, I had my first Ave show, sold it out on a Monday. It was me, Taylor Brienne, the Car Forget, hosted by Maya Marshall, Basement Gang, Savano, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just everything. Aubrey King, I don't want to miss out anybody, but just everything that I dreamed of and more. So that, and then from tour was just another experience in itself, So if you got any specific questions about tour, I could definitely answer. Because other than that,
Well, tour is demanding.
Yeah.
And you were going back to back, obviously, to different cities.
Yeah.
And this was your first time performing back to back in such a stretch.
Yeah.
Did you tell me a little bit how you felt about it? Because for some people, especially you're a rising star.
Yeah.
And some people get into this game and they don't fully understand the demands that come with it.
Right.
So tell me how you felt being in demand like that.
Man, for one, it's opportunity. Shout out to Prof, shout out Stop House. Man, I just know for a fact people that, come from my way at least, have never, really experienced this type of opportunity, man. Not too many, and it's like it's a new level, and what new level means, new everything, new good, new bad, and what I experienced was, learning more about sound check. When we do sound checks here, it's like we really be rehearsing, but no, sound check is to literally check the sound, make sure you sound good at this level and at that level, and just the ins and outs of knowing monitors, knowing how you want yourself to sound, knowing that you don't gotta yell, you know what I'm saying? You could not use your inside voice, but, have a level to a point where you ain't straining your voice and all that, competing with your, with your sound. And, man, it was just a lot. I learned a lot far as, what to eat and how to move, you know what I'm saying, more than anything. That's what I learned from Prof and his staff. And as far as, just the demand, that comes with it as you progress. Like my first show, I was like, all right, it's cool, it's dope, got the jitters out. And, the second show, I had an amazing show. And from there, each show got better. Some shows, I was like, I could have did this. And then once I got my set solidified for the most part, and and realizing what songs work and what songs just haven't. Because for the most part, a lot of his fan base are similar. And from there, just each show got better, man. And yeah, it was a time, it was a time.
Yeah, and you show
sure.
a lot of love to your city,
Yeah.
St. Paul, in your music.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so, a little selfishly, when you toured, did you have a favorite city
Oh,
in terms
man.
of performing?
All right, Gampos, don't get on me if you see this. Oh man, I think Detroit out the gate was very fun for me. It's easy to say New York because it's like, I love New York. My favorite rappers from New York, but I'm not gonna say New York. It was dope though. I was there on my birthday. But Detroit. And when you ask that, are you speaking from? Because I've been getting asked this question a lot since I've been back. And what I've been trying to wonder when people ask me, are they asking me based on the city or how I performed?
The city, like the energy.
Because, a lot of times we wouldn't even really have too much time to explore the city because sound check is in the middle of the day pretty much. And depending where we at, we'd have to do this. And then we had multiple people with us and everybody had their own things they want to do. But to really look back, I'd say Florida for sure was amazing. I've never been to Florida. It's my first time in Florida. So being in Orlando, St. Pete's, and or Jacksonville, I think, was amazing just overall as a state. From there, I would say, where else did I really have fun? Philly's Philly, love Philly. The weather wasn't the best. Let me see. Now I'm thinking second leg. Denver was tight. Surprisingly, Montana. I had fun in Montana. It was tight. It was
That's
tight in Montana.
interesting.
Like it was just different, seeing all that scenery. But yeah, Chicago. Yeah. Chicago was fun. Yeah.
So when you look into the future and you see, because obviously if you keep doing this, you're likely going to end up touring your own tour.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that idea?
Man, yeah. And what I know now is that, it ain't easy at all. A lot of times on tour, it's like, a lot of these people that do go on tour, like the big tours, bigger artists. I'm not even gonna say bigger artists, but artists with, just a lot of backing. It's a lot financially. It's a lot on your body. You know what I'm saying? What you eating. It's a lot. Like on your body, far as even just sitting in the rental, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like on your legs and comfortability. We had like 7 people with us.
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah, and the ultimate. And but I love that. I love to just even open up for a few more people to get just more under my belt. You know what I'm saying? And really grow my audience outside of Minnesota even more, because that's really the goal now. Outside of Minnesota, I know I got fans in Chicago, and I think I got more fans from being on tour with Prof. And I'm interested to see where this goes. I just gotta lock in.
I know I've been listening to a few of your projects to get a vibe, a sense of the type of energy that you like to put out. Yeah. And so I've been thinking about it in relation to some of the vibes in mainstream hip hop and mainstream rap, which obviously during the 50th anniversary this year, hip hop has changed tremendously. Yeah. And so I'm curious how you feel about your style in regards to music, your lyrics, just your vibe, and how you feel about it in continuing to step into the mainstream realm.
Man, for me, I think musically, if I'm looking at just my past 2 projects, I think I've showed that like I'm able to make different records. A lot of people, a lot of DJs be wanting me to make just club records. Like for me, that's a plus. I'm a fan of dope albums, dope body of works. Today there's a lot of people that make dope albums, but some of the dopest albums don't get enough push. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of these albums that drop today, because there's so much music for one, that even some of the greatest albums don't even really get discovered like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to make real music. Well, what's real music? Everybody got their own interpretation of what real music is. But I'm a product. To me, I believe I'm a product of some of the greats, and so when I'm putting together projects, I try to approach it like that. The way I approach my projects is the way I approach my shows and my set lists, and just I don't know, man. I love soulful music, and that's why I try to push out there. And also, I got songs where I'm having fun. I got songs where I'm talking about the ladies, or heartfelt songs where I'm talking about the ladies, or just a lot of thought-provoking, obviously. But for the most part, yeah, I just like to make music to have a good time, because a lot of times I be in the club, right, and we trying to have a good time in the club, but we listening to everybody talking about how many times they done shot each other, how many people they did this and that, and that's when you got everybody on the edge all the time when you're in the club. That's why fights happen. That's why people, because the music is frequency, and I love it all. I rock with it all when I'm there, But when it's like certain DJs, they be wanting me to make music for the club. It's like, I'm like, that's dope. But once you do that, or you get a big record, and then you got to keep making those type. You don't got to keep doing it, but when you if you chase that, and you get in a couple, and then you try to go back to making these different bodies of music, you could lose people, because they're like, hold on, what, we want this, you know what I'm saying? So I just try to make good music, and if a hit record come, if a club banger come, it come. That's like a plus, because that's like 2 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours now, because people don't get to the club until like 12 now, and why not have people listen to your music all day, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
I love that you say that, but it also makes me nervous because, I've watched a lot of interviews of the greats, right?
Yeah.
And they often start out with this, I'm retaining my individuality,
right.
I'm staying true to who I am.
Right.
And then something happens where either they get a deal, or they start mingling in these circles, and then they hit a 360.
Right.
So how do you feel like you're gonna combat that? If the time comes.
Well, with me, I've always the core who I am is chill, is love, is peace. Everybody has different sides to them, and also a lot of times in the case that you're speaking of, a lot of people probably went through something that changed them. That not necessarily the deal. It's people that got deals that still retain themselves, the state of mind who they is. But even the most people that are deemed to be the most peaceful people got other sides to them. I don't want to throw no shade on nobody. Let me not speak on nobody. But me, I grew up in the hood. Like, we grew up listening to all kind of music. You know what I'm saying? And I'm flawed. You know what I'm saying? I be in the club with these people and all that, but the next day I'm chilling how I chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to music I want to listen to. As far as me, I'll say, I'm well versed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to change, but sometimes certain events change you. And my goal is to not do nothing that ain't me. I want to make music that's a representation of me and how I grew up, and and change comes. Because if we stay the same, we ain't gonna grow.
I feel you. And
it's all perspective.
I mean, I have a little background because I also grew up in St. Paul, also came from the hood. So I understand a little bit about how that is.
Yeah.
But I am a little curious about your inspirations, because I understand that coming from a background like that, where Black people are not the standard in St. Paul, Minnesota. Like, we face our own challenges and battles just being up in the north, right? Versus down in the south. I feel like there's a deeper sense of community, a deeper sense of support. And so maybe talk a little bit about how your city shaped who you are as an artist today.
Dope. I like that. Man, for me, my families are heavily invested in St. Paul, whether it's just living, whether it's just contributions, whether it's, sports, whether it's, got my family's been in some bad stuff too, for sure. But for the most part, just, my family, my family, the rec centers I went to, the schools I went to. I went to Gaultier, I went to Webster, I went to Benjamin E. Mays for summer school and elementary. I went to Murray, and I went to St. Paul Central, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, so in programs like True Art Speaks with Tish Jones, Penumbra Theater, that shaped me. Penumbra Theater and True Art Speaks are two programs that really shaped me in my awareness of my art, what I want to talk about, what I want to speak on, and it's pretty natural though, because I don't know, it's just interesting, man. St. Paul, I grew up with people on the east side, I grew up with people on the west side through sports and, crossing over playing people from Minneapolis, but St. Paul specifically, Rondo, man, Fuller, just grow up seeing a lot, and I take it all these different memories and all these different things that I learned from all these different people, whether they still living, whether they're not, whether I don't see them. I think all of it makes me who I am, because I, learned what I didn't want to do, and I touched the stove a couple times, hand got burnt, and came back, and we here, from that point, so.
It sounds like you frequented a lot of spaces that affirmed who you are, like culturally and just as a person. Mm-hmm. I think a lot about Jimmy Lee and all the people that used to be in there. Jimmy Lee was kind of...
Yeah, it was cracking.
Yeah, it was cracking, but...
MLK, it can go on.
Yeah, all those spaces were curated for people that look like you and me. Yeah. Sure. And I'm sure that made a difference in terms of finding your people. Yeah,
Shefford. Yeah, it goes on, man. It's just crazy. The reason why I appreciate it now, because I'm just seeing how different it is now. Post 2020, it's a lot of things that changed. School system has changed. Certain schools like Gaultier and Webster are about to be no longer. I think might not be. Right now, I don't know. But yeah, man, I even was working at Highland Elementary and working at Como High School during the pandemic. 2020 and 21, working in those schools. And yeah, man, just a lot of things that have changed, and so, I just often look back, just how I grew up and all the people and all the different routes that so many of my people took, and good and, bad, all, and look where I'm at, and just try to take it all in.
I don't know if you've noticed, but you've been saying a lot of stuff that kind of reflects your new EP.
Yeah.
The eighth
it's like full circle,
Luv Vs Passion.
Yeah.
Especially the change.
Mm.
You had that song where you were saying I've changed too,
mm-hmm.
and people change all the time.
People ain't really where they from. They just change clothes, and you got a lot of people who ain't from where they say they from. You know what I'm saying? And it's put on a cloak or a new shed of skin, but that ain't really them. You know what I'm saying? But then again, change is change, and however you change, praise for the best, and what's real love in a world full of cutthroats? I tell my mama that I don't know, man, it's interesting, man, that song is a powerful song on there, man.
Yeah, facts. I think for me what came up is just I think a lot of people resist change because it can be painful, but sometimes you just gotta go through pain to take the next step.
Gotta go through it to get through it. In that song, just talking about, back to back, Kaz, DP, my homie Devin, just losses change people. You know what I'm saying? It's changed me tremendously. So, and I don't have to speak about it, but I speak about it in my music. I speak about it in my poems. And, and the music I listen to helps me with that, And so I can't listen to songs where the frequency is low, because then they'll trigger different, emotions and different stuff that I've been through. So it's like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
No, for real. But, music is a frequency thing. I think for me, it's like, I think it's become something that's like a comfort, you know, like when you grew up listening to these music, like this kind of music, I know that I would probably do better not listening to some of these things.
Yeah.
But because it's like something that bonded you with your friends and your family and like the culture, the neighborhood, it sticks.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I'm just, you know, thankful that, you know, still going through, you know, because I still got, you know, we still here, you know, so we still feel a lot of these things that continuously happen, whether it's good or bad, you know, so it's like, hey.
And let's go back to this project.
Okay,
because
let's do it.
You released this EP in March. So fast forward a couple of months, how are you feeling about this project now? And I'm curious what your favorite song is.
Oh, man. And I feel like this project is an extension of my project Spread Love. I feel like elevation, full circle again, like, you know, with just all these dope things happening. You know, it's like, I ain't gonna say it's my magnum opus because I ain't wrote it. You never know what's your magnum opus till you get there. But as far as these 8 years being out of high school and chasing this thing, 8 to 10 years really, chasing this thing that I love and being a part of this thing that we love called hip hop is, man, it's priceless, you know. Granted, I was on tour, so like I was able to get my album, sell my CDs throughout the country. So my CDs, my merch, is scattered everywhere throughout the United States. So my piece of my identity, my hugs, my handshakes, my first impressions, most of my, I would say, was pretty good. I don't think I rubbed too many people the wrong way, hopefully. Was well received, and that album was a big woosah, you know, for me. My favorite songs, all of them for real. I say for real though, Out to Peasy, that's my favorite one because it's home, St. Paul. I really did it out to Peasy. I really, you know, went on this road and really bet on myself. That's the moral compass of just betting on yourself. And to explain, closest I've ever been is another one. And then like Sequence, it was real tight. You know, me speaking on the lovey-dovey side of me. You know what I'm saying? All of them for real though. But them are a couple that come to mind. Change Clothes we already talked about. That's a sleeper. But
that's what's up.
What else? Let me see. What were you saying again?
No, that's all good.
Yeah.
I asked because it's like, you know, obviously you talked about how having diverse range within your project is important. And I definitely saw that through the album, especially with like Luv Vs Passion. That was a switch up. Yeah. You also pulled some of the singing notes on the Thrill, which I was not expecting that. And it was a pleasant surprise.
I was on my BB King. I was homage to BB King, you know. You know, he said the thrill is gone. I kind of told him like, yo, the thrill ain't gone. I'm putting on. You know, we still making this great music, and I don't know directly remember what he meant by the thrill is gone, but the thrill ain't gone. We still making great music. We still going through a lot of the same trials and tribulations, pain. But man, we done did our thing too, you know.
And one thing I love is like when I was looking at some of the people that you brought on the project, a lot of them are local artists. Yeah. They are based here. And so can you talk about maybe what has been your experience with, you know, you've been in the game for 8 to 10 years, right? Yeah. And every time you take a step forward, the social energy kind of switches. At least I've heard, like, you know, having to differentiate between like who's really vibing with you for who you are versus who's vibing with you because they also want to get put on. Yeah. How do you navigate that with also understanding that, you know, a core part of who you are is putting the city on and bringing your people with you?
Well, the thing is, I'm grounded, and I'm grounded. So even when people try, some people be trying, like, act like they believe in myself more than I believe in me, and that's not true. It's never true. Just because I don't approach things the way somebody else would approach it, it's not the case. I just have my own outlook on my life, on my career. A lot of people do have good intentions, but sometimes the way people approach things isn't right, and the social energy, for the most part, I could say I've always received love, but sometimes that love is for, not everybody be there for them times where you ain't vibing, you know what I'm saying, where you is going through it, it don't be the same. And I could say I've probably been guilty. I think we've all been guilty of that, but not necessarily on purpose. It's just, we as a people, we go through a lot, man. So whenever we got people in our life that's doing good, and we try to, at least love that, appreciate, love on that a little more, because all of it ain't promised, But for the most part, I'm grounded, and that kind of, so people don't always come at me like that. But sometimes I come off tour, people think, yo, you rich. Like, nah, fam, I just had to put up a lot of money to make sure we got back home. So it's a lot that come with it, but I'm grounded, so I don't let it go to my head too much.
That's what's up.
And
again, you've been in the game for 8 to 10 years. I keep saying this because that's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
And
could have been quick for sure.
You said you love it, which I understand. But what is it that keeps you moving? Like, I think a lot of people, it's not easy to stay committed to something like rap, for example, where you are investing a lot of your own coin, of your own energy. You might not have the perfect management team until you actually get put on. Yeah. What is it really that pushes you to keep pursuing this?
My family, myself, like, my love for hip hop, my love for my people, my love for my parents. Parents is older than most people, parents, so that the conversation of really making something happen is different. I want them to really see this. I want eventually, like, have my parents to not have to worry about nothing. That's the overall goal, and I feel like I've messed it up a few times, but I'm here and I'm still strong, and I want them to have no worries. That's my ultimate for me right now. And everybody like to say the cliche thing, generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? That's been the conversation, which that's a goal of mine too. But just morally making sure my people is good and myself is good. But sometimes, like a question that Prof asked was, do you want to be great, or do you want to be happy? Right? And it's like, in the chase of trying to be, I hate that word. In the chase of wanting to be great, or maybe, or if you're already great, if you believe you're already great, I believe I'm great. It's like you can't get too satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you get stuck in that. But what he said was, you can be satisfied and all that, but that's cool. But he said, hold on, hopefully I'm not twisting his words, but what he's saying about what being great, you're not always gonna be happy, like, cause some of the greatest people ain't always happy because they got a lot of people with their hand out. They going through a lot of things. They gotta watch their back. They gotta, it's a lot that goes on. But for me, I think I want to eventually get to a point where I can have a balance of both. And that's why I'm grounded as much as I can be. Because when being great, or not even this, or when just having a light on you, it comes with a lot. But luckily, since a kid, I've never had issues with meeting people, or people loving me, or people wanting to talk to me or be around me. I've always been used to that, so I'm aware of it, and that's why I'm afloat, and can move in all these different places, because I've always had my own. like what we say, emotion. I
Yeah.
always had my own light, and I never had to I've dimmed my light for other people, because some people, probably grew up where, they were bullied, you know what I'm saying? I've apologized to people that I may have bullied before, and, because that wasn't always me. Sometimes I stuck up for kids that got bullied, and it's an interesting thing,
Yeah, you sound like you give me the impression that you're a giver.
Yeah.
And so when you said that, deciding whether you want to be great or you want to be happy,
Yeah.
I know this, like, just for me personally, sometimes being the person that can pass the light to others, while it is a demanding spot to be in, gives you happiness.
Yeah.
It brings you happiness.
Yeah, no, it
because
does.
you can, you're not the one with your hand out. You're the one who has built up the resources and the capacity to be able to shed light in more than one way.
Yeah.
So that's just what came up for me with that saying, because I thought about that. I was like, But do you have to choose one or the other? Because
it's a good question, man. I guess it's like, just being obsessive with it. When you're obsessive with it, sometimes you lose the happiness, because you're like, nah, I want it to be better. So basically what he was saying, like, all right, I just went on tour. I could be good with that, because some people will never tour ever. You know what I'm saying? And that right there and there's so many artists in this world, so that right there is a blessing. Or I could not be setting that, which I feel like I kind of fell in coming back in a sense. And I could keep going and really mash out and really take it to where I need it, because I'm at a new level now. And there's no point of going down.
Nah, I'm gonna need you to stop right there, because again, I get the impression that you like to put your city on, and so I'm gonna bring you to a space of wisdom right now, because I can tell that you have a lot of confidence. I can tell that you have a lot of self-love. So what would you say, for a person that's trying to build that for themselves, especially as an artist, like you're exposing your deepest thoughts, your deepest emotions, and all those things. What is it that empowers you to wake up every day and be seen by so many people and still say to yourself, I love myself? I almost said the word, but like, I'm the stuff. Yeah. And to walk with the crown on your head like that every day.
Crown heavy, but I carry it, but you said what empowers me to still, man, just it's the path that I've been given, like I said, with being known by a lot of people, and a lot of people knowing me, a lot of people knowing my family, being a part of these great programs that have birthed, produced great people, it just comes with it. It comes with it, and it's a lot to deal with it, and that's when you have those moments, those times where you down. People, I don't always show that. I don't always show what I'm down, but you hear what I'm going through the music sometimes, or when people meet me, or if they really know me and we really build or chop it up, they go get. I wear it on my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. I'm self-aware too. Of a lot of things, and sometimes when you're self-aware, you still indulge in stuff that you shouldn't be, or people, because you connected to certain people for certain reasons, unfortunately. Like, I got, we got all kind of different people that we know and that we could be around in certain settings and certain things. And like, I'm here by myself right now. Well, my bro upstairs, but I'm here by myself right now. Certain people that go with me to other places, and man, I didn't be interested in sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? Just watching me do that. And that's okay, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, I would say overall, like, it comes with it. I can't run away from it. This is the music I chose, and just far as being someone with influence or someone with that's known in many different ways and all that, that chose me too,
Yeah, I mean, what I heard from you is that community heals and community empowers. Like, I'm getting the sense that again, going back to how you said you were raised, you had a lot of people building you up.
Yeah.
And as a result, you stand very firm in your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to ask that question because I know a lot of people are struggling with insecurity, are struggling with anxiety, all the things, even more so today with social media.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And, granted, I had times where I was irritated by a lot of things too, because it's a lot of stuff that goes on, and I try not to get too high, and a song that always sticks with me by Boz, where he said, you're never as low as you think. You know what I'm saying? There's always people that's going through more, and I try to take it all in, take everything for what it is, and I take people for who they are. So it saves me from a certain level of disappointment. If this person right here is someone who like to lie a lot, or who's slick but still love you a little bit, but has these flaws or has these traits about him that you may not agree with and all that, or that other people may not. I got people that love me be like, why are you even hanging? Like, I see them for how they are, so I can hang with them and love them for who they are too, in that capacity, and be around them in this capacity. And I know when not to hang around or be around. Like, every time I go out, I circle the club. I see who's all in there. And people think I just be lit. Like, no, I be peeping the scene too. I peep my surroundings, and all right, this is when I should leave. Just being aware,
I love that you say that, because I honestly don't think you could be a great artist without being observant, without taking note of the things that are happening around you. Because with creative's block, you got to change your surroundings and put yourself in new experiences. And
sometimes you could be. A lot of these times I've been aware and still there, but that's because I'm still through the midst of all that. Even if I'm going through it, I'm still grounded, because I know it's another layer.
And so, why don't you like the word humble? I'm
Humble,
just curious.
Because humble, what I learned from my shout bro John X, basically, he was telling me humble is a word for people that is like, when someone says, like, if you're patting yourself on the back, like, this is y'all first episode, y'all doing y'all thing. Peace to Georgia for it. She's doing her thing. Someone come up there and be like, yo, be humble. Like, nah, man, we not dimming our light because someone else is insecure about, they don't got something going on. And also, what I take from that word is, but I also am humble in a sense to where, that's where you go to words like grounded, or, it's to the point where you're not dimming your light or lessening yourself because someone else isn't comfortable in that, or seeing you do your thing. But in the same sense, I'm not gonna use the light, use the love, use the opportunities, resource, whatever I get to put down people, because then that'll make you humble. That make you an oppressor in a sense. If you use your light and the stuff that you got to even if someone has done, for me, even if someone has done me bad, just black people in general, right? Like, as bad as we've been done in this country, 9 times out of 10, overall, black people won't do people that have done us wrong the same way.
Ooh.
If that makes sense, and that's how that's why that word sometimes is for people that ain't okay with themselves sometimes. I think that's what I took from what he told me, the information he gave me.
Okay, so with all this wisdom and with all this effort that you're putting into your career, how will you know that you fulfilled your end goal? Like, what is it that's gonna be the signifier that you are completing your mission?
I mean, completion is another number 8, right? But I would say what I would say, I mean, everything's continual, you know. Your impact, your influence, the words you said to people, the love you gave to people when they couldn't do it for themselves. I mean, all the, you know, it shows in the people that you've inspired, people you impact. Like I bet I was with one of the homies, you know, earlier this week at a show. No, yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Wednesday. I was at a open mic, on a homegirl mic, Marshall's open mic, and basically I saw one of the homies, and he when he was in 7th grade, and I was probably ninth grade or something like that, or 9th grade or 8th grade, whatever. He looked up to me, you know what I'm saying, for how cool I was. When he was in elementary, he looked up to me, like being on MySpace, seeing me. This is when people was jerking. This is when people had mohawks, high tops, and you know, and I still got my high tops just under the hat. But you know, he told me how much I inspired him on that level, on the fly tip, on being cool, and you know that he doing this thing now. He fly, people look up to him, so that's another thing in that lane. You know, and I got people that loved me as a basketball player and all that. Some of these people done passed me, you know. So
I get what you're saying. You're saying like, all the facets, all the aspects of who you are, no matter what time it is, you're still gonna draw some sort of inspiration and connection with a certain community. Yep,
you know, or just people in general. Like on tour, I gave a kid a glove that was. I owe my brother righteous some gloves, but I gave a kid a glove. You know, the kid gonna remember that for the rest of his life, whether I pop or not. You know, like you get further or not, like kid gonna remember that for life, man. Like, yo, I went on tour and I was given a glove. You know, say I really do what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, it really made something happen. That kid gonna be like, yo, I got a glove from him. I got a picture with him. You know, it's just little things like that, you know, that it's like reassurance, I would say, you know.
So I'm getting the teachings from you are focus on the impact of today.
Yeah.
Be humble, but not too humble.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just, yeah, man,
that's what's up.
It's perspective, but at the end of the day, I'm still funny. I still talk crazy to people, too. You talk crazy to me. I'm a flawed individual, but core of me is still gonna be me. And sometimes people ain't okay with themselves, so they try to push that on you. But overall, I'm a little bit of everything, man. I'm crazy too, but for the most part, I'm good, you know.
And so, would you say that Juice WRLD and Malik Curtis are separate in terms of? Do you have separate identities? Some people like to take on, you know, a little persona with their art.
I think they're the same. Cause me, if even when I didn't do music, I was still that same kid that loves sports. The same. Well, obviously, Juice WRLD is my artist name, so it's clearly like separate on that. But as far as a person, it's still all Malik, and that's why I'm, you know, even Recipes Juice WRLD, you know, when he popped, I'm like, dang, man, like I'm like, I already been Juice WRLD, so I'm not changing my name, but you know, it's, you know, soon I could see just using my real name, Malik Curtis.
That's
I can see myself doing that, but
it has a ring to it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I be feeling like it do sometimes too, you know. But I be like, I don't know. But because now I done built this brand, I done built this name, done these things. But you know, we'll see. But
yeah, because Malik means king.
Yeah. No, it means king for sure.
You got people mad at us. I saw under your comments, people was like, "When are you coming to ATL? When are you coming?"
Oh yeah.
They trying to steal you away.
Hey man, you know, I've been to a lot of places in the United States. I can see myself. I can't really see myself living too many places outside of it due to global warming and all of that.
Out of here?
not other places. I can't see myself living in too many other places.
Okay.
Due to global warming, the way the world is, I'm cool. I know the passive aggressiveness and all of that. I know all of that. So
in the winters.
I love home. You know, as far as living anywhere else, if I could live anywhere else based off the places I've been, it definitely wouldn't be LA. No disrespect. It definitely wouldn't be LA. The only way I say New York is because I love New York and all that, but living really ain't, to me, I don't think it's no better place to live for, you know, truth be told. You know, I like DC. I want to try DC, but other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Everything else crazy too.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Juice Lord.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
this is super dope.
Feel the power. Feel the beat.
Yo.